going to talk about artificial intelligence in this video. And artificial intelligence is the area of computers where we try to create computers and machines which can appear to be intelligent. So we are creating computers or machines which can replicate what humans do. And it's really a pretty amazing field with a lot of amazing things happening. But, well, let me just point out a few of them. So here is one of the resources that I think would be great for you to check out, which is a YouTube video called How to Make a Neural Network in Your Bedroom by Brittany Wanger. And in 2012, she was the winner of the high school senior, 18 years old, who was the winner of Google's Science Fair. She created her own neural network, and a neural network is a type of programming where you try to create a computer that operates like the human brain. So the human brain has a neural network of neurons and synapses and yeah, all this kind of stuff that I don't even understand. Nobody understands. Nobody understands how the brain works. And you try to create a program that makes decisions based upon weights. And so you give it different input, and then that input can be given to different nodes within the neural network based upon weight, and based upon the outcome and the results, the machine can learn. And so there's machine learning. So anyhow, this young woman created a neural network, and a website called Cloud for Cancer, because she wanted to try to help solve cancer. And she has when she's given data, right? Fine needle aspirates to determine if breast mass is benign or malignant for breast examinations. Currently, her network is able to diagnose with 99.11% sensitivity to a malignancy. And so she wrote this program. You just enter the data, and then it figures out the diagnosis with 99% certainty, which is pretty amazing. So another example of machine learning and artificial intelligence is, again, if you go to YouTube and you search for Texas Hold'em heads-up video poker, you'll see this really dumb video. Play with the ultimate in neural net technology, and if you zoom forward just a little bit, right, it shows that the computer, quote unquote, thinks, and not only that, right, the computer's thinking, it'll bluff. And so the computer will learn based upon who it's playing with. And the New York Times recently wrote up an article here about this new type of video poker machine, and how it's actually unbeatable. And they had to dumb it down, and then the machine would learn, and so now you could play against this Texas Hold'em machine, and it thinks and it bluffs and it plays more like a human, right? So it could figure out what kind of a person are you. And can I bluff you, if I have a high card showing, or can I not bluff you? As opposed to just playing on strict probabilities and rules, it will take into account uncertainty and different statistics like that. So an interesting article to read here at the New York Times. This article, The Steely Headless King of Texas Hold'em. Steely Headless King. The neural net's learning needs to be frozen. Let's see if that... Yeah, it's just an interesting article on all that. And again here, another one, Texas Hold'em poker machine built on neural networks beats even the best players. So I'll put this link in here also under neural networks for you to check out right there. There we go. So one of the ways that we could create machines which are artificially intelligent, machines which could do some of the stuff that humans can do, like learning from past mistakes, instead of just running the same algorithm over and over, their program actually evolves, right? Like we do based upon experience. Is one of the ways we could do that is with neural networks. And you can learn more about machine learning and artificial intelligence and neural networks either by, here at Coursera, there's a machine learning course where you'll be able to learn about that. And then there's also an introduction to artificial intelligence run by Sebastian Thrun, who's one of the guys who helped develop the driverless car at Google. So one of the difficulties of creating machines which are artificially intelligent, of course, is that you have to know how we actually are intelligent, how do our brains work. And that's one of the big obstacles, because here's the Oracle at Delphi. I don't know these people. I just thought it was a pretty awesome picture. But here's the Oracle at Delphi. And the Oracle at Delphi over the entrance says, know thyself. And we don't know how the brain works. So trying to replicate something and create something which works like the brain is challenging, because we don't even know how the brain works. So there's this guy, Alan Turing, and you know, he's a pretty amazing figure in computer science. And I forget, what is he considered? The father of something. Let's see if it shows here. Father. We've got two fathers. Father of computer science and artificial intelligence. There we go. And Alan Turing came up with this thing called the Turing Test. And so how do you tell if a machine is artificially intelligent? And so the Turing Test is a way to do that. Let's see if there's actually an image here of the Turing Test. There's not. Let's search for one and see if we come up with one Turing Test, and just see if there's an image which helps us explain it. Yeah, this one will work right here. So this is the Turing Test. I sit down at this computer and I start typing with it. And I have to figure out, am I typing with a human in another room, or am I typing with a computer in another room? And if I can't tell the difference, if I can't distinguish between, if I can't figure out if it's a human or if it's a computer, and if the computer tricks me, then that machine is considered to be artificial intelligence, because artificially intelligent, because I can't tell if it's a human or not. So these are some of the tasks which people who study artificial intelligence try to create for their computers, right? Like language processing. Like language has a lot of nuances, you know, and being able to understand sarcasm and things like that is a pretty high level processing type of task, and nuances in language and tone and things. So artificial intelligence strives to kind of create computers which could do things like learn, understand natural language processing, and that type of a thing. So Alan Turing's the father of computer science and artificial intelligence, and then he also came up with this thing, the Turing Test. And the Turing Test is how we test to see, one of the ways we test to see if a machine is artificially intelligent. Can we interface with that machine and not differentiate between interfacing with a human? If that's the true, then the machine's considered to be artificially intelligent according to the Turing Test. And there's a Loebner Prize, which they give, Loebner Prize, every now and then. Homepage, the Loebner Prize, right? And this is a part of, you know, artificial intelligence. Your grandpa could look like this too. That's funny. Missed adolescence, that's what I'd call that picture. So there's all kinds of applications for artificial intelligence, and you know, gambling, you know, self-driving cars, you know, cancer diagnoses. Those are just some of them, but all kinds of applications for artificial intelligence. And here's a famous sort of event which happened. IBM created a machine called Watson, which just hands down beat everybody in Jeopardy. And you can see here, Watson's got $77,000, and the humans are down in the 20s and not looking very happy. And so, you know, again, you know, this would be quite quite a task for a computer to understand the language requirements of the questions. So, who is Bram Stoker is the answer. Who knows what the question was, right? But the computer would have to understand, like, whatever the question was asking, and then come back with an answer. And so IBM Watson was a pretty big event. All right, so those are some of the things about artificial intelligence. Let's see if I covered everything. Planning, reasoning, learning, machine learning, probabilistic logic, problem solving, creativity, social intelligence, natural language processing, speech recognition, machine vision, perception. These are all some of the areas of artificial intelligence. And there's a couple of resources here for you to take a look at. There's a link here to watching IBM Watson's on Jeopardy. And then there's also the link to the girl who created a neural network in her own home. And then there's also a link to that New York Times article on artificial intelligence. And then you also just learned about the Turing Test. So those are some of the things about artificial intelligence, creating machines which are artificially intelligent. This is some of the stuff they do. And a neural network is one of the ways which we attempt to create artificially intelligent machines. And it's pretty interesting stuff, the entire arena of machine learning and having computers start to operate more like the human brain. Um, there's one more thing I'll mention, Human Brain Project. And the Human Brain Project just was launched. Let me see if this is it in the news. Human Brain Project, 10-year, 1.6 billion. Human Brain Project gathered, kicked off. Let's check this out. Continue to the site. Human Brain Project begins. Today in Switzerland, the 135 members of the Human Brain Project gathered to kick off the 10-year global project that will give us a deeper, more meaningful understanding of how the human brain operates. This project is considered the most advanced neuroscience project in the world. Just looking to see if it said anything about the power of the computer that was going to be used. But let's look at the Human Brain Project, just the website, Human Brain Project. Just a lot of information. So anyhow, it's just a project that just recently launched with a long-range goal of understanding the human brain better, so that we could, create computers that are more like our brains and can do stuff like our brains. All right, so that's a little bit of information about artificial intelligence. In the next video, we're going to learn a little bit about quantum computing, which is a new cutting-edge way of computing which transcends zeros and ones. It goes beyond zeros and ones, and it could prove to have a lot of applications in artificial intelligence, and then also, in sort of solving questions, answering questions that computers today can't answer right now. So interesting thing we'll look at next.